I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to love now.
I am the Reverend Dave Dunn. I am the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North Congregation in Roswell, Georgia. This is my second year on the Covenant Accountability Team called the CAT team. It's actually the second year it's been in existence. So I'm one of the inaugural members of the CAT team. And I've been going to SUUSI for about 5 or 6 years since I moved down here from Pennsylvania. Prior to that, there's kind of a SUUSI North in Ohio that I went to for like 15 years and my whole family went to. So it was so great when I moved down here that I could go to SUUSI now, and it's wonderful. Our faith isn't really based on beliefs, like what we believe. Obviously, we don't subscribe to a certain belief set. I consider our faith to be about two things. One, how we are together as a people, and two, what we do together. So how we are together is covenants. It's the promises, it's the agreements, it's the vows that we make together as to how we are to be with one another. That's the one thing. And then what we do together is our ministry in the world. Like, now that we're in covenant, here's what we do. How do we make this world a better place? What we do together is our ministry. Principles, they are aspirations of our values and things, but they don't really define necessarily precisely how we're going to be together. They don't really kind of spell that out. So our covenants are a little bit more specific, kind of like marriage vows that we have with one another, and no one's perfect. The vows are always broken, and we're all beautifully imperfect. Eventually, when we're doing our work together, we will break our covenant with one another, break our vows. And it's important for us to then reaffirm those vows to move forward once again. That's actually the richest part, actually, of covenant. If it's always perfect all the time, you're probably not doing enough, interacting enough, because if you're really working with another person deeply, you're going to come up with some conflict and opportunities to repair your covenant. The SUUSI covenant, basically safety. We want to care for each other's safety as best we can at SUUSI. Trust, having trust, trusting one another. Validation, we hear and listen to other people, try to see things from their perspective. Affirmation, to be appreciative of all the people in our community and who are helping us in our community, like WCU staff, for example. Accountability, to be responsible for our words, deeds, and actions, even when we think our intentions are good. And reconciliation, to agree to repair covenants that are broken in some way. That is the 50,000-foot view of our covenant. When people are asked what they like about SUUSI, you hear the word community all the time, and that's great. But what people often don't realize is community is made. Community is what you get when you live in covenant with people. I mean, it's a product, because if you don't have that covenant, you're not going to have a community. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. You're not going to want to come back. Community is something you feel, but it's what you get after living in covenant with one another. I think a lot of people understand accountability, like if you do something wrong, you need to be held accountable for it. But what people, I think, often don't understand, myself included, because I've made this mistake myself, is that when I say or do something and I have good intentions and people are upset and want to talk about it, like, but I had good intentions, but it hurt another person in a way I couldn't have imagined. I need to be kind of responsible, accountable for that in the same way as I'm responsible for doing something wrong. I need to be responsible for the impact of whatever I do, even when my intentions are good. I think healthy communities and healthy congregations, it's the responsibility for everyone really to hold people accountable gently, lovingly. When that doesn't happen in churches or in communities such as SUUSI, things fester or you get triangulations. So it is, accountability is the responsibility for kind of everyone in our community. To interact with the team, there will be a phone number that people can call directly. It'll be 24/7 to address accountability issues and covenant issues. It's different than the minister on duty, okay, who can be called to address maybe pastoral care issues or dealing with grief or something along those lines. The covenant and accountability team is more about some conflicts that may arise. We can be, we're not judges, but we can help parties, multiple parties, work through maybe some of those conflicting issues that may arise at SUUSI. This team was formed so that we can have the best SUUSI we can possibly have. We want everyone to feel welcomed, loved, and be willing to express themselves in ways that they feel comfortable expressing themselves, and that we can all, just have a wonderful time together.
Into the arms of love, into the arms of love, into love's arms.